All right, today we are diving into a really dramatic story, a complete flip in U.S. foreign policy. We're talking about Pakistan. How did they go from getting the cold shoulder from Washington to suddenly getting a super warm welcome? Well, the story we're looking at today suggests it all comes down to a massive multi-million-dollar bet, one that could change everything.
Okay, so just to get a sense of how big this shift really is, you've got to see the before and after. Under the Biden administration, things were, well, they were icy. I mean, we're talking no phone calls to the prime minister for more than 2 years, basically a total lack of interest. Now, flash forward to the Trump era, and it's a complete 180. You've got frequent White House invites, you've got public praise. It is literally night and day.
Right? A cold shoulder one day, a warm welcome the next. So, what gives? How does something like this happen? I mean, what could possibly change behind the scenes to cause such a massive, radical shift?
Well, the answer, at least according to this New York Times report we're digging into, isn't some complex diplomatic maneuver. It's actually much simpler and maybe a lot more powerful. It all comes down to one thing: money. And, we're not just talking about a little bit of cash here. We are talking about $5 million. And get this, that's supposedly how much Pakistan spent in just a few short months, all in an effort to get Washington's attention.
Now, to really put that $5 million into perspective, let's look at their regional rival, India. During the same time, Pakistan's spending on lobbying, well, it dwarfed India's by almost 3 to 1. That is a seriously aggressive financial push to try and win friends in high places.
Okay, so that probably leads you to a pretty important question, right? How does this even work? I mean, how can spending money in Washington legally change something as big as foreign policy? Well, the answer is a practice that's, believe it or not, a totally legal and really central part of the American political system. It's called lobbying. And what it means is that basically anyone, a company, an interest group, even a foreign government, can pay a professional firm to go and argue their case and try to influence decisions made by government officials. And there's a kind of playbook for how this works, and it's actually pretty straightforward. Step 1. A country, in this case Pakistan, pays a DC lobbying firm millions of dollars. Step 2. That firm then uses all of its connections to get in front of senators and other politicians. And what's step 3? Well, those politicians might then start advocating for new policies that are, you guessed it, really favorable to Pakistan. It's basically a direct line from money to influence. There's a phrase from the report that I think just perfectly sums up this whole strategy. It's in Hindi, "Paisa feko tamasha dekho," and it basically translates to throw money and see the show. It really paints a picture of this as a purely transactional, pay-to-play kind of game. But here's where the investigation suggests this story goes way beyond just standard legal lobbying. The connection, it's alleged, might go deeper, right into the Trump family's personal finances. We're not just talking about influencing policy anymore. So let's try to connect the dots here, based on what the report lays out. It seems to center on a company called World Liberty Financial, we'll call it WLF. The Pakistani government reportedly secured some kind of stake in this company. Now, WLF has its own crypto tokens. And here's the explosive part of the allegation. The Trump family's own fortune is said to have massively increased, directly connected to these very tokens. So just how big of an increase are we talking about? The number that's being reported is staggering. $5 billion. Yeah, that's billion with a B. A number like that, it just changes the entire game, doesn't it? And let's not forget about Pakistan in all of this. For a nation that's facing some really serious economic hardship, a severe debt crisis, this isn't just some casual spending. This is a huge, high-stakes, all-or-nothing kind of geopolitical gamble. And you can really see just how high the stakes are here. I mean, look at the potential risks. They could be wasting millions of dollars they desperately need. They could take off other allies. The whole bet could just fail completely. But the potential rewards are massive. We're talking favorable U.S. policies, a stronger diplomatic standing, and an edge over India. It's a classic risk versus reward scenario, but on a global scale. And this is really the key difference when you look at how the two regional powers are playing the game. India is also in the lobbying game, but their approach is much more, let's call it, conventional. But Pakistan's reported strategy, it's a totally different beast. We're talking aggressive, high cost, high risk, high reward. It's just a whole different playbook. So all of this brings us back to the big multi-billion-dollar question, doesn't it? After making this massive, incredibly risky bet, will it actually pay off for the people of Pakistan? Or will the show that they paid so much to see end up costing them way more than they ever could have imagined? I guess only time will tell.